So one of the challenges in this field is that we're using the same questions in some of these surveys that we used for tobacco cigarettes in the past. So things like susceptibility to smoking, which is a standard measure, or intent to smoke, are things that in past decades, actually, we did find were useful predictors of whether kids would go on to try a cigarette or indeed become a regular smoker. So to then shoehorn e-cigarettes into that, where we know more and more that they're completely different products, isn't helpful. So I think the measure of intent to use is a very weak measure. Have you used an electronic cigarette in the past 30 days? In most articles, that's described as current use. And I don't think that's accurate or helpful. Now, to give you an example, my colleagues, Andrea Valenti, the first author on the piece was a young lady with the last name Collins. They published a paper in the journal I edit, Nicotine and Tobacco Research, last year, and they drilled down into the NYTS data from the US. And at the time, past 30-day e-cigarette use in 2015 was 11.3%. But when they actually looked at the raw data, amongst kids who've never smoked, the number who had used an e-cigarette in 10 days or more of the past month, what I would describe as regular use, was 0.1%. So well below 1%. So it's just not accurate to talk about 30-day use as current use. We need to recognize, and again from the qualitative work I'm doing in the UK where we talk to teenagers, it's perfectly, it wouldn't be surprising that in the last month a kid might have gone to a party and tried an e-cigarette, or even a couple of times in the last month with their friends. That seems quite common, even amongst kids who are not regular smokers. But that's not current use, and past 30-day use doesn't measure current use. So I think one of the things we call for in the article that you're discussing with me is for better standardized measures internationally of youth e-cigarette use, similar to a paper we published just earlier this year on standard measures for adult users in surveys.